cold night air clung to the streets like a silent ghost. The neon lights of Maggie's Diner flickered weakly in the fog, casting long shadows across the cracked pavement. Inside, the smell of burnt coffee and fried eggs lingered, and a young waitress named Emily Carter wiped down the counter for what felt like the 100th time that night. Her shift was almost over, but her tired eyes showed no relief, just exhaustion wrapped in quiet dignity. Emily was used to long nights. Working double shifts to pay her mother's hospital bills had become her life's rhythm. She didn't complain. She couldn't afford to. Every tip mattered. Every extra hour meant her mother's medicine could last another week. As the diner clock ticked toward midnight, the door creaked open, and a gust of freezing wind rushed in. Standing at the entrance was a man, old, frail, and covered in tattered layers of clothing. His beard was tangled, his eyes dull with fatigue and hunger. The other customers turned away, some whispering, others rolling their eyes. Emily didn't move at first, but then the man's voice cracked through the silence like a broken whisper. Could I please just get a cup of coffee? I'll pay you back someday." Something inside Emily stirred, a flicker of compassion that no amount of hardship had managed to extinguish. "Take a seat," she said softly, guiding him to a booth near the window. "Coffee's on the house, and maybe a sandwich too." The man's eyes widened with disbelief. He nodded slowly, his lips trembling. "Thank you. I haven't eaten since yesterday." And Emily smiled faintly. "Then tonight's your lucky night." If this story already touched your heart, don't forget to like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Whispers of Kindness for more real, emotional stories that restore faith in humanity. As she prepared the food, the cook Hank leaned over and whispered, "You know that guy's a regular drifter, right? Always hangs around the bus station. Don't waste your kindness." Emily simply shrugged. "If I stop helping people because others gave up on them, then what's left of me?" She walked back to the booth, carefully placing a steaming cup of coffee and a turkey sandwich before him. The man looked at the food like it was treasure, tears welling up in his cloudy eyes. "What's your name, dear?" he asked. "Emily," she replied, sitting down for a moment. "And you?" He hesitated. "William. But most people just call me Old Bill. Used to be William Dawson." The name meant nothing to her, but the way he said it carried weight, like it used to mean something once. They talked for a few minutes. Bill told her he had worked construction for decades, lost his wife to cancer, then his job, his house, everything. "Life can take everything from you, Emily," he said, staring into the coffee cup, "but it can't take away your soul unless you let it." Emily's throat tightened. She understood pain, loss, and struggle. But even in his brokenness, this man carried wisdom that humbled her. When the clock hit 1 a.m., Emily realized her shift was over. As she cleared the table, Bill stood shakily. "You've been kinder to me tonight than anyone has in years," he said. "Thank you, Emily." She smiled softly. "Just promise me one thing, Bill. When you can, pass it on." He nodded with a faint smile and shuffled out into the fog. She watched him disappear, never imagining that this small act of kindness would change her life forever. The next morning, Emily returned to the diner, her apron still damp from washing it in her sink. The bell above the door jingled, but this time the atmosphere was strange, electric, tense. Hank whispered, "You missed something big. Some billionaire's been going around town looking for a homeless man." "What?" Emily frowned. "Why, no idea," Hank said, wiping his hands nervously. "He's offering a reward." Said the man's name is William Dawson. Emily froze, the name echoed in her mind. William Dawson. Her heart pounded as she grabbed her jacket and rushed out the door, the cold morning air biting her cheeks. She found Bill sitting on a park bench near the diner, shivering under his old coat. His coffee cup sat empty beside him. "Bill," she said, breathless, "there's someone looking for you." Before he could respond, a convoy of sleek black cars pulled up along the curb. The doors opened and a tall man in an expensive suit stepped out. His presence radiated power and wealth, but his expression carried something else, desperation. "Dad?" The man's voice cracked. "Dad, it's really you." Bill blinked, his mouth trembling. "David." The man rushed forward, wrapping his arms around the frail old man as tears streamed down his face. Reporters appeared out of nowhere, cameras flashing. Emily stood frozen, trying to process what she was seeing. It turned out that William Dawson had once been a respected engineer who helped build a major corporation from the ground up. After his wife's death, he disappeared, leaving behind his only son, David Dawson, who eventually rose to become one of the most powerful billionaires in the country. For years, David had been searching for his father, believing he might never find him again. When David finally pulled away, he turned to Emily. "You're the one who helped him, aren't you?" Emily hesitated. I just gave him some food." David's eyes softened. "You did more than that. You gave him hope. And because of that, I have my father back." Bill smiled through his tears. "She reminded me that kindness still exists, son. That maybe I was worth finding after all." David looked back at Emily. "You work at the diner across the street, right? You're not going back there." Emily's brows furrowed. "Excuse me, I own the building," David said with a faint smile. "You're coming with us. My father wants to thank you properly." She tried to protest, but Bill placed a trembling hand on hers. "Please, Emily. Let us do this for you." Later that week, Emily stood in disbelief inside a glittering skyscraper lobby, the logo, Dawson Enterprises, gleaming behind her. She'd been offered a position as executive assistant to the CEO, David himself. A job that paid more than she could have ever dreamed of. When she tried to decline, David simply said, "This isn't charity. You've got the kind of heart this company needs." As weeks turned into months, Emily's life changed completely. Her mother received the best medical care money could buy. Bill recovered and lived with his son in comfort, surrounded by love and warmth for the first time in years. And yet, despite all the success and luxury, Emily never forgot that single night, the night kindness connected 3 lost souls. Before we wrap up, if this story moved you, please take a second to like the video, comment your favorite part, and subscribe to Whispers of Kindness so we can keep sharing stories that remind the world how powerful compassion can be. Months later, as Emily walked out of the Dawson mansion one evening, she found Bill sitting on the veranda, watching the sunset. "You know," he said, smiling softly, "when I was on the streets, I thought life had forgotten me. But maybe it was just waiting for someone like you to remind me I still mattered." Emily sat beside him, her eyes glistening. "And maybe," she said, "you were meant to remind me that kindness is never wasted." The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of gold and crimson. A silent promise that even in the darkest corners of life, one small act of kindness can change everything.